It's great that we've heard from Sajid Javid this afternoon about all the priorities of reform and recovery of the NHS. And I think you're absolutely right in saying that we need a sensible conversation about the future of the National Health Service and about the form that it takes, the way it's funded and the way in which it delivers care. I think in terms of those questions, I think we are already starting to see quite a lot of reformist zeal come to the NHS. There is an open conversation about those kind of big questions, and we really welcome some of the announcements that have been made in recent days, and also some of the kind of thrust of Sajid Javid's speech today about the kind of priorities that we should have for the system going forward.
I mean, interesting that Sir Gordon Messenger has been appointed, who is a former Royal Marines officer and Vice Chief of the Defence Staff, to create a report on inefficiencies in the NHS. The last time the report on the NHS, an in-depth report, was actually done, apparently, was 1983 to Margaret Thatcher. I mean, this has been a long time coming, hasn't it?
Yeah, so I'm sure as people will be aware that we do get lots of reviews and document papers about what's going on in the NHS all the time, and quite rightly so. It's an enormous public service. We all interact with it pretty often in our lives. So it's really, really important that we have expert input to diagnose what's going wrong and to work at how we can make those things right. So yeah, it is a long time coming, and we absolutely welcome a review of management structures in the NHS. We think that bringing in more people to ask those important questions about the service is something that we should all celebrate.
Do you think just reviewing management structures is going to be enough, though, or do we need to be potentially talking about... I mean, Sajid Javid did say that people in this country are proud to have a National Health Service free at the point of entry, which those countries that actually have a hybrid insurance system would boast much the same thing. Is it about time to say, as lovely as the model is for the NHS, frankly, it is perhaps its own sort of bureaucratic behemoth by being a nationalised system that holds it back?
So as you've acknowledged, I think already, there are a range of kind of short-term pressures that face the NHS, and we could talk about all those things. But you're absolutely right in saying that what the debate needs to be about now is the long term. It's about how we build a health and care system that's fit for the 21st century. And we think that absolutely there should be lots of different questions on the table about how that system is organised, how it's funded. Obviously, overseas models have both their benefits and their pitfalls. But we think what we've seen today, and particularly in the first 100 days of Sajid Javid being the health secretary, is a real emphasis on the fact that with increased funding to our NHS has to come a serious conversation about how we reform the system to deliver what's best for patients. Obviously, we and Sajid Javid and others don't know what the perfect solution to some of those problems is. But what we are starting to hear is a serious grappling with the big problems that face the NHS. The fact that we have an aging population, people with chronic health conditions. Often we have kind of, as you say, bureaucratic structures which find it difficult to be flexible to face those kind of challenges. So we think it should be absolutely welcome that big questions are on the table in terms of what the future of our NHS looks like.
I mean, another thing he brought up was actually moving to a fully digitised system. It's 2021. Why are things still on, bits of paper, gathering dust in the basements of GP surgeries?
Yeah, so we also think that it's a big tick from us when it comes to digitisation in the NHS. As we know, new technologies have kind of transformative potential. And one of the other questions that we might want to be asking in reviews of management and delivery in the system is the question about why some of that new innovation isn't coming online. But it is also important to note here that that's been a priority for a long period of time. And you're absolutely right in saying that in 2020 or 2021, we shouldn't see paper records. We shouldn't see fax machines being used to send patient information. So we think the fact that Sajid Javid, although we do acknowledge that this has been a priority for a long time, is really taking that question about digitisation and technology in the NHS seriously. That's also something that we think is a really big tick.
Welcome to the GB News YouTube channel. You can watch us live 24 hours a day, catch up on your favourite shows and join in the conversation in the comments below.
Don't forget to subscribe and you'll never miss any of our exclusive content.